Millions have watched him ride into danger, deliver justice without hesitation, and define what it means to be a cinematic legend. But behind the steely gaze of Clint Eastwood, there's a story few ever heard. A story from the very beginning, long before the fame, before the iconic roles, before Hollywood knew his name. And now, at 94, Eastwood has quietly revealed a truth about his early career, one that changes how we see his entire journey. Because sometimes, the strongest personas are built on the most uncertain foundations. Long before he became a symbol of strength on screen, Clint Eastwood's life was anything but certain. Born during the Great Depression, his early years were marked by constant movement as his family searched for stability. There were no guarantees, no clear path, just a young man trying to find his place in a rapidly changing world. Acting wasn't always the plan. In fact, those who knew him back then described someone reserved, even unsure of himself. He took odd jobs, drifted between opportunities, and like many young men of his generation, struggled to find direction. It wasn't until a chance encounter during his time in the military that the door to Hollywood quietly opened. A contact, a recommendation, and suddenly Eastwood found himself stepping into an industry that would define his life. But the beginning was far from glamorous. His early roles were small, almost invisible, bit parts that barely left an impression. According to those familiar with the time, Eastwood was often overlooked, considered too quiet, too stiff, not expressive enough for leading roles. Many believe there was even doubt among studio executives about whether he would last in Hollywood at all. And yet, something changed. The breakthrough came with the television series Rawhide. It was here that audiences first began to notice him. The calm presence, the quiet intensity, the kind of performance that didn't demand attention, but earned it. But even then, the real transformation was still ahead. When Eastwood traveled to Italy to star in a low-budget Western directed by Sergio Leone, few could have predicted what would happen next. That film, A Fistful of Dollars, would redefine the Western genre and turn Eastwood into an international star. But behind the scenes, the story was more complicated. According to insiders, Eastwood's early years were filled with uncertainty and self-doubt. Those who worked alongside him remember a man who questioned himself, who wasn't always sure he belonged in the spotlight he was stepping into. In later reflections, Eastwood admitted something surprising. He revealed that during those early roles, he often felt like he was simply getting by, learning on the job, adapting moment by moment. It wasn't confidence that carried him forward, it was persistence. There were defining moments along the way. Moments where roles nearly slipped away. Moments where directors pushed him harder than expected. And moments where the pressure to succeed became almost overwhelming. One turning point came during the filming of his early westerns, where he began to understand something crucial, not just about acting, but about presence. He didn't need to be loud. He didn't need to overperform. What made him different was restraint. Over time, that realization would shape not just his acting, but his entire career as a director. Films like Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby would carry that same quiet intensity, proving that sometimes less truly is more. And perhaps that was the real secret he shared. Not a scandal, not a hidden feud, but the truth that even legends begin with doubt. As the years passed, Eastwood's career evolved in ways few could have imagined. From actor, to director, to cultural icon. His work began to reflect deeper themes: morality, aging, redemption. In interviews, he spoke less about fame and more about growth. About learning from failure. About embracing uncertainty rather than fearing it. And with time, the insecurity of those early years became something else entirely. Perspective. Today, Clint Eastwood stands as one of Hollywood's most enduring figures. A symbol not just of strength, but of resilience. His story reminds us that greatness isn't always born from confidence. Sometimes it's built from doubt, from persistence, from continuing forward, even when you're not sure you belong. Because in the end, the people who seem the strongest are often the ones who had to fight the hardest to believe in themselves. If this story changed the way you see Clint Eastwood, share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more cinematic documentaries uncovering the untold stories behind Hollywood's greatest legends.